Now, for more on the struggles by Nigerians in getting cash for their daily needs, let's talk to the Nigerian ambassador to Burundi, Dr. Elijah Onyeagba. He joins us live via Zoom from Burundi. Good to have you join us, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you. So in this conversation, I know you're wearing two hats. First of all, you are a trained economist, and so I'm going to relate with you on that as well. But I also know that you're a diplomat now. And so let me start by relating with you as a diplomat. Many would say that, look, we're now in an unprecedented moment in our country where people are looking for the legal tender of their own country, not because they don't have money, but because the currency is not just available for them. How would you react to this? And how is the international community also reacting to what's going on in Nigeria?
Thank you so very much, and good afternoon to Nigerians. What is going on in the country is a bit of concern to the international community. I've followed the IMF. I think they also warned that there may be chaos that can actually come as a result of this transition. Make no mistake about this, the cashless economy has always been a very good initiative and should actually be the destination for a market like Nigeria. But the challenge we have at this point in time is that when people have monies in the bank, that monies are classified as either demand deposits or fixed deposits. Demand deposits are what you classify as current accounts and savings accounts. And the law basically says that anyone that has money in the bank that demands that money should have that money whenever they need it. It means basically that that money should be available on demand, either by transfer or by cash. So the challenge we have at this point in time in Nigeria is that we've got a good policy, but we have a lot of challenge with respect to its implementation. I'm not just a diplomat. I also did banking, and I totally understand what the financial institutions are also going through at this particular point in time. Some of the challenges is that CBN must also consider the fact that whenever new monies of this nature go out, either by over the counter or across, through any kind of channels like ATM and the POS, what you find out is that these monies are not coming back to the system as deposits. Usually, a bank is run in such a way that someone deposits money today, and you use that cash to pay the next person that comes tomorrow to ask for the deposit that they had put in earlier on. So part of the challenge you're going to find is that once these new currencies are not being deposited back into the system as currencies, as cash, then clearly, where will the banks find the monies that they used to pay out to people that are actually calling on their deposits? I know clearly that there are regulations, restrictions have been placed on the quantity you can withdraw. I think they said it's 20,000 naira per day or 100,000 naira per week. But the challenge is that most depositors or most customers are even unable to take 5,000 or 10,000 as had been planned earlier on, which means that we are having a big issue with implementation. Yes.
So I actually tried I tried using the ATM just to confirm what you just said. I tried using the ATM. Yes, it wasn't dispensing, but even it did state that, look, I can only withdraw 5,000 naira per transaction. But I wanted to ask you about this because you just mentioned that you're a banker. I had said earlier, I'm also going to relate with you as an economist. A lot of people, because we know that the small and medium enterprises make a large, at the bulk, and many people will say that they are the foundation of our economy. At this moment, with what's going on, I'm not sure most of them have access to cash in terms of buying their raw materials and then making their finished products and ensuring distribution is made. What will the impact of this be in the long term? What is happening now? Are we going to feel the impact on our economy in the long term?
The challenge is that this is an economy where about 42 million Nigerians do not live in the rural areas and they do not have access to any kind of banking facilities. If you go to a lot of northern states, one of the things you find out is that there are some local government that just have one bank. There are some local government that doesn't even have banks at all. This is the real situation. And for clarity's sake, this is about, the cashless policy is about financial inclusion. It's about getting the unbanked into the banking system. But the issue is a lot of stakeholders are involved in trying to drive the cashless economy. There's the CBN, there's the banks, There are the fintechs, there are the agents, there are telcos, and there are even ISPs. And the challenge is that a lot of people don't even know that a telco, for example, is very, very instrumental in trying to drive a cashless transaction. Usually when your account is debited and you do not get the alert, you begin to call your bank that you don't get the alert. But this is actually a service that is offered by that is outsourced to telcos, for example. So we are having a very difficult situation where people that have monies in the bank are unable. So you don't have the cash, you are unable to make transfers, and you get to the banking hall, and there's just a lot of drama that is going on everywhere. So nobody is saying there's anything wrong with trying to drive a cashless policy, but it's something I believe should be faced. And there should be a roadmap, and everybody should understand that there is a timeline for the implementation. And this is something you run proof of concept. This is something you can take phase by phase, state by state. And then as you go on them, you begin to find lapses that you also begin to close. What has happened is that we have seen that it's looking like quite a lot of stakeholders were taken unawares. And a lot of banking platforms electronically, one of the things you find is that, for myself, in the last 3-4 days or so, I've been trying to use some of the bank apps to make payments, and the payments are not going through. So
I think that's the story of a lot of Nigerians. Why you cannot access cash. You also not you make transactions, they decline, but you're debited, and then you don't have having a reversal is also now a challenge for a lot of people. Thank you so much for talking to us. Nigerian Ambassador to Burundi, Dr. Elijah Onyeagba.
Thank you very much.